Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear? Okay. Is everything ready up in the technology booth? Wonderful. Great. So welcome everyone. I'm Marcia Sloan Latta. In case we have not met before, I serve as Vice President for Advancement. And let me just say, it is so good to see all of you in person. So we're delighted that this is our first Fridays at Findlay back in person in 2 years' time. 2 years ago this month, actually, about this day, I believe, President fell is when we were sent home. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be back in person. Hopefully you received my email yesterday to explain that due to mechanical difficulties with Delta Airlines, that our speaker this morning, Jeanne Kelly, is not able to be here in person. And believe me, she gave it the very valiant college try, and I think on the fourth either delay or cancellation was at the point that there just was no way to get her either to Columbus or Detroit to come. So she has graciously agreed to join us through the screen, and so we're looking very, very forward to that. There are a few things I would like to mention before we start this morning. A couple other events that we have coming up. On March 28th, the Mazza Artists Monthly will feature Richard Ho and Jessica Lannon. And this, by the way, is a free series that we do. And Ben Sapp, our director, who is somewhere here, he lines up amazing speakers and from all over the country who are artists, illustrators, or in some cases authors and illustrators to present, and it's offered free of charge, and we appreciate that very much. April 29th, we are working on our next Fridays at Findlay, so stay tuned. And I want to ask you to join me in giving a round of applause to our sponsor of the series, Premier Bank. So Rod Walton and group, thank you very much. We could not do this without a sponsor, and they have been loyal and with us, and we appreciate that very much. I also want to thank Jeanne for her flexibility, and Jeanne was our commencement speaker here in 2014 and just did an outstanding job. And we have, as a special treat for this morning, we have our student choral performers. And following Jeanne's presentation, they will perform 3 songs. So we're looking very forward to them. And Director Sewal, thank you so much. And students, I know it was early to come, to get up this morning and come, but we appreciate that very much. One of the members of the choir is going to provide reflections and prayer this morning, Alex Miller. Now, Alex is a junior religious studies major with a theater minor and musical arts minor. He comes from Hilliard, Ohio. He's a vocalist in our choir group, as well as Revive, which is a Christian ministries organization, and he is also a group leader of a Bible studies group here on campus. So Alex will give our prayer this morning, and then President Fell will introduce our speaker. Alex?
Well, thank you very much for that kind welcome. Hello, everyone. It is absolutely wonderful to see you all here this morning, to see your bright and shining faces. Hello, my name is Alex Miller, and it's wonderful to be here before you all as a scholarship recipient, but also a student who is very grateful for all of your support and love and generosity over these past couple years. I've had the privilege and the honor to receive quite a few scholarships from the arts program here, and I just can't thank you enough. I'm very grateful. It's been wonderful to serve here at the UF community, whether it be in campus ministries or the arts program or even in the religious studies program. I've had a wonderful time, and it's been absolutely awesome to be here at campus. And while I only have a year left, I will use the most of it to make campus a better place, and by your generosity, I hope to do so even more. Would you please pray with me today? Heavenly Father, God, you are good and wonderful in all moments, in all seasons, Lord, even when we don't see it. Lord, I pray your blessing upon this morning. I pray that, Holy Spirit, you may be upon this room. That, Jesus, you may use the speaker to change our hearts and our minds, Lord, for your glory, for your good. I thank you for the generosity and the presence of everyone here, Lord. It's such a wonderful, wonderful experience to see them here, to be with them. Lord, I pray your blessing upon the food we have received this morning. I pray that it nourishes our bodies, Lord. I pray for those who do not have food that they may receive it. Jesus, open up our hearts and our ears to what you have to say today, Lord, what our speaker, Jeanne, has to say today. And I pray your blessing upon this entire morning and day and night that is to come. Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. This I pray in your Son's holy name, Jesus. Amen. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, Alex, for the prayer and your comments. We're here for you and all the students at the University of Findlay. But my big job this morning, the best part of my day, is introducing the one and only Jeanne Kelly, founder of Encore Creativity for Older Adults, the nation's largest choral program of its type. Our speaker is a UF alumna. Her career has spanned 40 years and included a powerful blend of experiences as a vocal performer, teacher, conductor, and music administrator. She earned an undergraduate degree in voice performance and piano from our very own institution, University of Findlay, and a master's degree in voice performance from the Peabody Conservatory. As a performer, Ms. Kelly has a long and distinguished operatic career with performances at the Washington Opera, Baltimore Opera, and the Pennsylvania Opera Theater, just to name a few. She has sung on many concert stages, including the Baltimore Symphony, Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra, and the Annapolis Symphony. Among many other awards, Ms. Kelly received the University of Findlay Distinguished Alumni Award in 1996. Most recently, she was named to the Help Age USA's first ever 60 over 60 list, honoring 60 Americans who are making significant contributions to society at the local, national, and international level. Please welcome Ms. Jeanne Kelly. Jeanne, hold off just a second because we can't hear you. She can't hear me either, so there we are. It's up in the heavens, but it's not quite heaven up there, is it?
They were going to unmute me. Got it. Hello, everyone. Let me try this again. It is so very nice to be joining you. I did try very hard to get to Findlay yesterday. I sat in the BWI airport for 6 hours, and finally they said the plane needed a part, which was they had to get from Atlanta. And at that point, after they brought out free food for the second time, I knew I was in trouble. So I asked if we could Zoom, and here we are Zooming. Lord knows that I have Zoomed a lot in the last 2 years, but I'll get into that at a later point in my talk. I was really looking forward to being back on the campus. I still keep in contact with my roommate, Karen Van Nice. And of course, her father was our choral conductor when I was there. So maybe some other time. So I'm very pleased to speak on the topic of arts, wellness, and aging. And I have been closely related to that topic for 20 years. And I can tell you, hands down, that this work with older adults has been the most important part of my long career. It tops singing on major stages of opera and symphony. My work, I have loved it. And for all of you who work with older adults, it is a very noble work indeed. So let me just tell you a little bit about the creativity and aging study I did, and then how I got really into the world of wellness, arts, and aging. In 2001, I was invited by Dr. Jeanne Cohen, who was a very well-known international and national gerontologist, to do this landmark creativity and aging study on how older adults responded to being able to work in the arts under a professional conductor or a professional teacher. The professional was the key word. The study was in 3 parts of the United States: San Francisco, really Oakland, New York, and Washington, D.C. It was theater, storytelling. I was doing the choral work. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but it sounded interesting. It sounded like I could do some good, so I said yes. And we studied the mental, physical, and social aspects of and the benefits of older adults studying the arts under a professional artist. The average age was 72 years old, and singers were interviewed by medical professionals before they started singing in September, and then when they finished singing for the year in May. And what the singers reported was that after the first 8 months of singing, was that they had fewer falls, they took less medication, they had fewer doctor visits, fewer hospital visits, much higher morale, and much less depression. I mean, who wouldn't be happy if they were coming to sing every week and meeting new people and having concerts to look forward to? So, but what drew the singers to this program was that they were going to have the opportunity to study under a professional conductor. So before that, what I knew about choral singing with older adults is that they would arrive for a sing-along, and they would be given a song sheet, just with words, no music. So there was no real challenge going on there. And suddenly they come into this program and the music is challenging, and they're going to be doing concerts. It was a good deal for them. The study was highly successful, and the study went on for 3 years. And from that study, I did begin Encore Creativity for Older Adults. And it was to serve older adults in a very professional, respectful, and highly artistic environment. So I'm happy to say that Encore is now the nation's largest choral program for older adults. We currently, and we're headquartered in, well, actually our offices are in Annapolis, but we have 16 Encore chorales around Maryland, Virginia, and DC. The Encore chorales perform and rehearse repertoire that is just the standard choral repertoire, such as American Songbook, Broadway. We'll throw in an operatic chorus or a chorus from an oratorio. They love it. They love it. And then One day I was driving to a rehearsal and I thought, I said, maybe it's time for something new in Encore. And I thought, our generation is responsible for rock and roll. And so we started Encore Rocks, and it has been highly successful. We have 5 Encore Rocks programs in the area. And then about 10 years into Encore's program, and I always said to everybody, sing for life. That was my mantra. And suddenly I found out that I could no longer say that, because singers that had been with us for 10 years, and they do stay because the program is wonderful, they were starting to feel Alzheimer's and early dementia. And I had to fix that, because I could no longer say we're singing for life. They had to drop out. So we started a program for early dementia, early Alzheimer's, called Sentimental Journey Singers. My husband named it. It's a great name. I am sometimes aghast at some of the names of the programs for Alzheimer's singers. There's one around our area that's called The Forgetfuls, and I think that is just horrible. Yes, I will say no more. But anyway, those are the 3 programs that we have. They rehearse from September to December, and then they do big free concerts. And that means the singers can invite their whole world. And then they do another set of concerts, usually about 16 concerts a semester, at big venues. And so they love being able to present to their community. So then I kept thinking, well, what else could we do for our singers? What did I, as a singer, a young singer, like to do? Choral camps. So why not have a choral camp? So now we have 3 choral camps for our singers. We have one over at Washington College in Chestertown, Maryland. We keep them busy from 8 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, and they love it. Then we do a rocks chorus camp, and right before the pandemic, I had nailed down everything for a rocks chorus camp at Rock Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Everything was finished. Hotels, food, everything. And then the pandemic struck, so we didn't go. But this year we'll be doing a rocks campus over in Chestertown. And then every August we're up at Chautauqua Institution in New York, not far from Findlay. So if anybody wants to sing, in order to do our programs, our summer programs, you do not have to be a year-round singer. So keep that in mind. And while I'm thinking about it, if you have any questions that you want me to answer, Jessica Cullert will take your questions and then forward them to me. I'll be happy to answer any questions. So continuing on with what I thought our singers would like, I thought, well, choruses do concert tours. So our first concert tour was on the Queen Mary 2. And we crossed, it was a 7-day crossing. We performed on the Queen Mary 2. I'll tell you, these singers were over the moon. How many older adult singers get that chance? How many younger singers get that chance? But I kept on thinking big, and that is a big aspect of doing programs, planning programs for older adults. Think big. And then, of course, I will discuss at a later point our last program that we have thought up. It's called Encore University, and this came to be because of the pandemic. I will talk about that later. So regardless of age, we all want to be challenged. We want to be respected. We want to be noticed. We want to make a difference. And we want to, and I use this in my rehearsals, the 3 C's. We want to feel comfortable. We want to feel confident. and we want to feel courageous. And when I'm working with my singers, it's 15-week rehearsal period before their big concerts. And I say, up until week 8, you're going to be working to feel comfortable. You're going to know the text. You're going to know the music. And then from week 8 to 11, you're going to feel comfortable and it's or confident. And it's unbelievable how much more they sing when they feel confident. And then from weeks 11 through 15, you are going to feel just simply courageous. And they're ready for rehearsals. But those are good things to think about just in daily life. I want the singers to see that not only what aging is, but what aging could be, what aging can be. Not what we accomplish in spite of aging, but because of aging. That's huge. That's huge. We see possibilities instead of problems. You know, we all have problems. I'm 72. I'm starting to see some problems, but none of us dwell on them. And we come and, you know, whether you have a theater program or a dance program or an orchestra program or a band program or a plein air painting program, you see the possibilities instead of the problems. And aging can be a catalyst for a rich new experience, offering reinvention and renewing passions. I get so many singers that, you know, of course, we do not do auditions in Encore. If you say to an older person that they have to audition, they're not going to do it. We've auditioned our entire lives for things. We've had job interviews, et cetera, et cetera. We want to learn, we want to meet new people, and we want to have new relationships, and we do not want to audition. So there's no auditions. And also our rehearsals are during the day. So think about that when you're programming. But everyone wants to approach each day with a sense of purpose. And that is really, really important. And aging is framing what you have, not thinking about what you don't have. And creativity can benefit by strengthening morale, improving physical health, enriching relationships, and establishing a legacy. And I think about that legacy. I am in the midst of retiring. So this past September, I passed the reins of CEO and artistic director off to 2 people. Everybody laughs. They say it took 2 guys to fill the shoes of 1 woman. So they are doing very well. And I am simply conducting 3 chorales, which conducting is what I really love to do. And so I'm starting to think about being needed. But I think we've taken care of that for the first year. We're going to sail our boat down to the Caribbean and clear our brains and come back and see what we really need to do in the next life. So we must focus on pleasure in the moment and not on the future, because we don't know what the future is. So that's a biggie. We talk about that a lot. Now, today I speak mainly of singing because that has been my world since I have been young. That is the area I've spent my career at. But please know that anything that I talk about, brain health, physical health, mental health, lung health, posture, it's all for what you may be doing. And I truly wish I knew what brought you to this talk. And as many emails as I get, I'll answer, because I'd love to. I'm very inquisitive about who I'm speaking to. Singing is the perfect means for an aging adult because we do not have to buy an instrument. We all own it. And one of my big things is that if you can speak, you can sing. I say that so often. Let me just say that when I spoke about camps, and it was mainly choral camps, we have offered camps in dance, in movement, and in theater. They were highly successful, but they are very expensive to run, because if you're going to do a theater camp, you cannot have more than 10 people, or you cannot do your job well. Dance, you might have more, maybe 15 tops, but choral, we usually have 90 people at a camp. The arts in aging. Let's talk about brain health. And I have had the luxury of working with Sarah Locke, who is head of brain health for AARP. And she worked with us on our holiday concert 2 years ago when we were doing those little squares, virtual concerts. It was a great concert, but it would have been nice to be live, but she did a lot of talking about brain health in that concert. Doing singing, dancing, and theater, anything together increases social connections, and that is huge in aging. We don't want to be alone. We don't want to be isolated. It provides a source of entertainment and enjoyment. And when you sing, you take in oxygen and you breathe out carbon dioxide. And this increases brain circulation, and it helps guard against getting Alzheimer's and early dementia. Rhythm in music can provide a mental boost, and it can help motivate you to move your body. Physical activity is one of the best things you can do for brain health. Any variety of arts can be beneficial to brain health. It stimulates your thinking. Participating in the arts with other people enhances your self-esteem, and it provides a satisfying sense of accomplishment. Lung health. Did you know that pulmonologists say that the best thing you can do for your lungs is sing? So some of us don't sing. I think all of us should sing. All of us can sing because we can speak. But just think of delivering theater lines or just talking. Singing or playing as an instrument or any kind of movement will improve your breathing. So you just breathe more deeply. And if you have programs that you're working with in your older adults, do deep breathing exercises every day. They do help. It reduces shortness of breath and it strengthens the voice. I know that I have a lot of singers that live alone. And I constantly talk about breathing because they don't talk all day. They don't have anybody to talk to. They might talk to their cat or their dog, but they don't really talk that much. And so what starts to go away is deep breathing. What starts to go away is their articulators. You know, when people age, we start saying, I'm sorry, but I can't understand you. They don't use their articulators. They don't use their lips, their tongue, and their teeth to articulate because they don't have to. They don't have anyone to talk to. Posture. This is a biggie. And you can work on this. I don't care what kind of program that you're running, you can talk about posture. Posture does not, breath does not flow if your posture is not as good as you can get it. Now, some people have big physical problems that the problems do not allow them to stand up. We understand that. But better in posture enhances our daily health. It allows us to have better vocal tone. It allows us to have better breath flow. I'm going to turn my head and show you what I mean. If I have my head like this, you can hear that my voice is cut off. But if you feel like you're pulling your head up from here, and you have nice posture. And I always say, your posture should be, your ears are over your shoulders, your shoulders are over your hips are over your knees, and your knees are over your ankles. And you're going to have pretty good posture. And I tell my singers that all the time. So singing, as I mentioned earlier, singing is a perfect art form for the aging population. But did you know that it is a significant part of American life, with over 54 million Americans singing? And here are some facts about singing. Adults who sing in choruses report significant personal benefits, including feeling less lonely, and more connected to one another. Choral singers are remarkably strong contributors to their community, and older choral singers report both a better quality of life and better overall health than the general public does, the general public who is aging. The majority of adults singing today began singing because they sang in school. So my hat's off to all the music educators out there. Encore sings in the term sing for life. And I talked about all our programs. The benefits of singing. And this can go into theater. This can go into orchestra where they're playing wind instruments. It relieves stress. Oh boy, does it. I don't care whether you're giving theater lines or dancing or whatever. It just relieves stress. It requires concentration, and it can also offer mindfulness. It stimulates the immune response. It increases pain threshold. Singing, dancing, drumming in a group or painting in a class releases hormones that raise the pain tolerance. And I know personally that I've had singers that have come in and they'll say, I am in so much pain, I don't know how I can do this. And they leave exhilarated from a rehearsal. So participatory arts work. This is interesting. Choral singing may improve snoring. It improves lung function, asthma, COD, cystic fibrosis, cancer, multiple sclerosis. Singing does not cure these diseases, but singers may gain strength in their respiratory muscles. And singing also increases the oxygen in the blood. When you sing or you play an instrument or deliver lines in theater, you take deep breaths. You also develop a sense of belonging and connection. Enhances memory in people with dementia. You know, my mother had dementia. My mother had Alzheimer's, and she could sit down and play the piano with tunes that she knew in her early piano days, or sing or remember lyrics to songs. And then that triggers what happened in life experiences. So singing makes everybody happier. Singing helps with grief. I can't tell you how many times I have helped a singer through grief. And it just gets them to the rehearsal, and it gets them with people, and it invites them just to forget for that little bit of time. It improves our mental health, and it improves our mood. It improves speaking abilities in autism and in stroke and in Parkinson's and stuttering. I have a great example. I had a singer. He was unfortunately hit with a bus in London, had catastrophic injuries. After years, he could sing, but he could not speak. I'll never forget it. He would just sing his question to me. Singing is absolutely excellent for depression. People after they lose a spouse, a partner, they can get very depressed and they can lose it all. And after a rehearsal, somebody will come up and say, I'm so glad I came. I feel so much better. Singing releases good hormones, and they're called endorphins, and they help us to combat depression. There's a tiny organ in the ear called the sacculus, and it responds to frequencies when we sing. And this in turn creates a pleasurable experience. Singing and other art forms bring people together. They help to alleviate fatigue. Somebody was just saying at a rehearsal the other day that when they were practicing medicine and they were trying to stay into singing, sometimes they just felt like they couldn't go, but they would go, they would sing, and they would come out of there more energized. And I find that for myself. On Mondays, I conduct two-hour rehearsals. Whoa, after the first one, and if you're rehearsing energetically and giving them as much as you can, I go into that second rehearsal thinking, can I do this? Yes, I do it, and I come out and I'm ready to go to yoga. I'm going to quickly describe an encore rehearsal. One of the things I did when I designed the program is that I wanted to get to as many singers as possible. And I know Washington, D.C. is based around a beltway. So as we started adding programs, every chorale sings the same repertoire. They rehearse the same repertoire for the same period. And that enables us to bring people together for concerts. It also, I thought, what's up with older people? What do we do? Well, we have doctor's appointments, sometimes more than we'd like. We have, we love to travel, so we might miss a few rehearsals. And having repertoire the same with all the chorales and all the rocks sings the same repertoire, they can make up rehearsals at different sites. And then they meet new people. So it was a win-win situation. Before and after rehearsals, our singers they might choose to go out to lunch with a few singers. Or I've got a group of guys in my Capitol Encore Chorale in Washington, D.C. They go out beer tasting. I'm glad they do it after the rehearsal. Let me describe a concert to you. They are incredible. We have been lucky enough to be invited by the Kennedy Center Concert Hall to do a concert on the stage of the Kennedy Center Concert Hall. We had performed on their Millennium stage for 12 years, and it was a great experience. It was a great honor. They do it goes out all across the world. But it wasn't the Kennedy Center concert stage. And I kept on thinking about that. And then after our last concert at the Millennium stage, they called me and said, we really love what you do. Your concert was wonderful, but you've outgrown the stage. And I thought, here it comes. And they said, but we'd like to present you at the Kennedy Center Concert Hall. That's a $45,000 gig. That's how much it would cost Encore to do that. First of all, we wouldn't be able to afford it. So this December coming up will be our third performance. I've had the wonderful opportunity to conduct there twice. I mean, I made my opera debut there with the National Opera, but conducting in the Kennedy Center Concert Hall was pretty cool, I must say. There's the concerts are exceptional. The singer, I always make them memorize one piece. That's for mental health. And they complain, they say, I can't. The first time I did it, it was a Gershwin piece where I knew most of them knew the words. But then someone was commissioning a piece for Encore. It was to be performed at our first Kennedy Center Concert Hall performance. And I thought, okay, that first piece needs to be memorized. And there's going to be one word, and it's going to be Alleluia. Everybody knows that word. So they're not going to have to worry about the text. And then I said, let's just do, write a phrase and then repeat that phrase. And the piece turned out to be quite stunning. And you'll hear it today. But dream big. When I started Encore, I never thought some of this stuff that we've accomplished would have happened. But you keep thinking, what can we give them? What is the best that we can offer our older adults? So being a conductor or the head of your programs, simply go for the best. Hire the best. Somebody that knows how to work with older adults, somebody that thinks about the whole package, whether they're just there to, well, let's see, how can I phrase this? Theater, dance, music, you can discuss posture, you can discuss alignment, you can discuss breathing, support, you can discuss articulation, you can get all those things in the same package. The conductor or the director of your program, they should always look at those older people and think like they're 30 years old. That's a biggie. I would tell that to my conductors all the time. Look at them as younger people. You will expect more out of them. So let me quickly talk about the pandemic. I don't know how I'm doing on time. Somebody can shut me off if I'm going too far. But we knew when the pandemic hit that we had to do something. We had over, 1,400 singers rehearsing live each week. And it's called isolation. And it's one of the nation's biggest killers. And so I knew I had 10 very, very smart conductors on our staff. So I wrote to them and said, please just send me a video. I want, in the next 6 weeks, I want you to send me 3 videos. And we would send them out. And of course, I did the choral rehearsal videos because we were right in the middle of a semester. And so we had choral videos so they could rehearse the choral music, and then we had videos on vocal technique. We had videos on vocal history or music history. We had videos on posture for singers. We had videos on yoga. They loved it, and it kept them connected. They would come in every day in those little squares with the pictures. It was magic, and we got really high marks for that. And so today I am happy to tell you that, and my husband named it, he's good at naming, it's called Encore University. It is our online program. Through the pandemic, we attracted singers from over 28 states. So we have singers all over the states. And it's going strong. So just check out our website, encorecreativity.org. So in kind of finishing up, Encore benefits. These are words from a singer. And I got a lot of response because I did email my singers and tell them what I was doing, who I was speaking to today. And they wrote, but this one was really good. Singing has lifted me out of my worries from grief, loss of health, and only dwelling on the past. At the same time, it brings me back to my youth and all the joys of performing in music in high school, college, and my life in a religious community as a sister when we actually made several recordings at Radio City Music Hall. At the same time, it brings me fiercely into the present and truly out of myself as I am part of a group of talented men and women. It keeps me from dwelling on fixing upon the past. That could create a lot of melancholy thoughts for me. Our collective sound is so much richer than any one of us individually could produce, music together. For those hours when we are practicing and performing, it just brings a feeling of worth. It gives me something to look forward to every week, and the concerts are such a delight-filled goal and event. It gives me hope and a chance for camaraderie and such a welcome relief from social gatherings, even from some social gatherings. She says, even with close, lifelong friends, where my generation seems to only concentrate on talking about their ailments, losses, and grandkids. Now, here's a woman who has been a sister. She has no grandkids. She's got a lot of ailments, but she loves Encore because we are positive. It allows me to keep my sense of humor. So to finish up quickly, I was asked by AARP's head of brain health, Sarah Locke, to report on my findings with my work with older adult singers over the past 20 years. Singing brings incredible joy to participants. They love the hope that it gives them. Our singers can expect the greatness in Encore that they had in their college and auditioned choral programs, and that goes for theater, orchestra, band, whatever. Our singers remain remarkably healthy and resilient. Our singers are ages 55 to 98, average age is 72. Many Encore singers are physically active from yoga to pickleball. Our singers enjoy learning new skills in every rehearsal. Encore singers are very inquisitive. They have an insatiable appetite for learning. Encore singers greatly value their conductors, because their conductors understand the aging voice and know how to make corrections that will allow singing to be easier and better. Our singers love this challenge and the respect and the high expectations from their conductors. That's huge. Our singers love that we do not underestimate their ability. That's big. We conduct them as if they were 30-year-olds. Our singers suffer far less depression. They have fabulous concerts to look forward to. They enjoy a purpose. Our singers love giving back to their community with their free concerts. They are proud of their contributions to their community. We observe that our singers become more interested in other art forms, such as museums and the opera and Broadway performances, and getting involved in a new physical activity. They value the challenging repertoire chosen for them, and it makes them sound accomplished, and it highlights their aging voices. You have to always think about your age and highlighting that. Every rehearsal brings a new friendship. We bust isolation. Encore singers enjoy vacationing with fellow Encore singers through our camps and our concert tours. They want to be productive on vacation, and they want to vacation with friends. I don't know a lot of older adults that just like to go plop themselves on the beach. Our singers like to go and learn and have fun. They value the teamwork that choral singers, that singing offers. Encore singers are very happy that they have the chance to sing their entire life. They value all the chorales rehearse the same repertoire, and that they can make up missed rehearsals and other locations. So I hope that you have enjoyed what I have had to say. I don't know, I know we cannot do, I don't know if anybody wants to hop in here. Is anyone there?
Thank you so much, Jeanne. You amaze us, you inspire us, and let's give her a round of applause. And just a reminder, as our university choir takes the stage, that if you have questions for Jeanne, she is happy to answer them. Send them to Jessica Collard, who you all had received information from, or if you want, you can jot them down and give them on your way out. So at this time, I am going to turn it over to Sewa to introduce the choir. And let me just say, look at what you have to look forward to down the road, right? And I'll just mention, I had the wonderful opportunity one time when I had set up a coffee with Jeanne. She invited me to come to one of her rehearsals, and I arrived early. Well, so did all 90 of the participants. They were all there early, lots of energy. She, as you could tell, commands the best from them, and it was a real joy to see. So at this time, Mr. Director, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Jeanne. Very insightful and very influential speech. I wanted to echo a lot of things she said, good posture and all those things. I wanted to echo those things. I wish I could meet you in person, but, it didn't happen today, but maybe next time. We'll be singing Alma Mater first. Jeanne, if you can, remember your alma mater, if you're in your alma mater, you can sing with us, and also you can sing with us. And also our UF core music also includes a lot of senior people in our choirs, so if you can join us, you're always welcome to join us. Today, we didn't get a chance to warm up. 7:30 in the morning, I didn't have time. I can push my students come early and do the warm up. So we'll be singing, but they'll be singing a lot better in their concert, April 3rd, Sunday, 3 o'clock at College First Church of God. We'll be singing Louis Vian's Solemn Mass and some other interesting choral music. So I hope you can join us. Also, there is a musical gospel is coming March 25th, 6th, 7th. You can get a ticket right now. So I hope you can join us. Alma Mater first, and after that we'll be singing Festival Sanctus and Wade in the Water, those two music. Thank you.
To ever faithful mountain, Jehovah he spoke. Wade in the water, out of his mouth came fire and smoke. Wade in the water, I heard a rumbling up in the sky. Wade in the water, must have been Jesus passing by. Wade in the water, you gotta wade in the water. You gotta wade in the water, children. You gotta wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble. God's gonna trouble. God's gonna trouble. God's gonna trouble. God's gonna trouble the water.
Thank you so much, choir, conductor, accompanist. Fantastic. Thank you. What a way to start a Friday morning, huh? And let's give another round of applause to our sponsor, Premier Bank. Very much appreciate your support. And Jeanne, thank you. You were absolutely fantastic. The program was recorded, and so if you have friends, family members, future conductors who you think would like to see it, it will be available through, I believe, through the UF YouTube channel. And we can get you that information, again, if you need more specifics. But am I correct? That's where it will be, on the UF YouTube channel. So we do hope you'll spread the word and encourage others to see that as well. So thank you so much for coming, and we'll look forward to seeing you later this spring.